Before you install SolidWorks, the biggest mistake beginners make is not checking if their computer can actually run it. In this video, I'll show you exactly which devices work, such as PCs, Chromebooks, Macs, or tablets, and what system requirements you really need so that you don't waste time or money. Hello guys, Wilfredo Perez here with another video for the Inventor Within channel, teaching you the skills and knowledge that you need to develop your product sustainably, systematically, and confidently. So in the last video, we learned about the different products and solutions that SolidWorks offers. We talked about the standard, the professional, the premium, and the ultimate SolidWorks design packages. We also talked about the browser-based xDesign version, as well as the different solutions such as those for makers, for students, and for startups. If you haven't checked out that video and want to find out some more about the differences between these products and solutions, I will go ahead and link the video in the top right corner of this video so you can go ahead and check it out. So now we know about the differences between the SolidWorks packages and which one is for us. But we still don't know if the tech specs of our devices will be sufficient to be able to run the software smoothly. The thing with computer specs is that they can be quite complicated and confusing at times. So as to not overcomplicate this video and keep it at a reasonable length, I will go over both the minimum and the recommended tech specs for your device. So that way you can find out for yourself if your device already meets the minimum requirements, or in the event that you have to make any upgrades, the recommended hardware to be able to run SolidWorks smoothly on your device. So first, let's start out with the system requirements for a Windows PC to be able to run the desktop version of SolidWorks. So starting out with the operating system, you want your computer to be either running on the 64-bit version of Windows 10 or the 64-bit version of Windows 11. Whichever one it is, you have to make sure that it is indeed the 64-bit version of it, because otherwise you won't be able to install the SolidWorks software. Additionally, one thing to keep in mind is that you can run the 2024 and 2025 versions of SolidWorks using Windows 10, but if you want to be able to run the 2026 version, then you're going to want to get the 64-bit version of Windows 11. So that is it in terms of the operating system for the Windows PC. Now for the processor, at a minimum you'll want to either have an Intel Core i5 or a Ryzen 5 with a base clock speed of 3 GHz. If you can afford an upgrade, I would instead recommend going for an Intel Core i7 or an AMD Ryzen 7 with a base clock speed of 3.3 GHz or more. Do keep in mind though that the cost of processors will go up significantly as you see the clock speed increasing. In terms of how many cores the processor has, I wouldn't worry about this too much because SolidWorks mainly runs on a single core. The only reason why you'd want to consider having a processor with multiple cores is if you will be either performing renderings or simulations. Now, if this applies to you, then you want to make sure that your processor has at least 12 cores. You could perform renderings and simulations with fewer cores, but 12 cores is about the recommended amount for you to be able to run them seamlessly. But if that doesn't apply to you, then the specs I just went over should be pretty solid for you. One important thing to be careful of when it comes to Windows PCs is ARM-based processors. SolidWorks is not officially supported on Windows ARM, so I recommend sticking to either Intel or AMD processors. When it comes to the RAM, you want a minimum of 16 GB, but I recommend having 32 GB. You could go higher than 32 GB if you want, but I would say anything between the range of 32 to 64 GB is pretty solid. The more RAM you have, the more browser tabs, reference videos, or files you can keep open at the same time without slowing down the computer. For graphics cards, the bare minimum you could do is use your computer's integrated GPU. However, depending on which one you have, you might only be able to work on simple models. My recommendation is that you check out the SolidWorks hardware certification website, find a list of SolidWorks compatible graphics cards. You can use this site if you are looking to buy a graphics card and want to check that it will work well with SolidWorks and to check the driver version you will need. This website is also good if you plan on purchasing a new workstation and want to make sure it will already come equipped with an approved GPU. One thing to keep in mind is that gaming graphics cards can run SolidWorks, but they're not made specifically for CAD software. This means that they could potentially struggle when you're working with assemblies that have a lot of components, or if you're also working on drawings with a lot of components. In other words, a gaming GPU doesn't mean SolidWorks won't run. It just means it's not optimized or professionally supported for professional CAD workloads. Lastly, for storage, you should at a minimum have a 256GB SSD with at least 25GB of available storage. If you have an HDD, that's okay. Just know that it will take longer for SolidWorks to perform certain processes. If money allows, I recommend getting a 512GB NVMe SSD while having anywhere between 50 to 100GB or more of free storage. If you're mostly modeling individual parts, these specs are more than enough, as it's mainly large assemblies that really push your hardware. So that pretty much covers what you need in terms of tech specs, if you'll be either getting any of the 4 different tiers of SolidWorks design, or if you plan on getting the 3D Experience SolidWorks for Makers solution. Now, whether if you decide to use a desktop computer or a laptop, that is completely up to you. If you envision having to travel and want an option that allows you to work on the go, then a laptop is definitely for you. However, having a desktop computer has its own perks, as a desktop computer will generally cost you less than a laptop with the same tech specs. Additionally, you want to consider the fact that for laptops, you can't really replace the processor or the GPU, so you're kind of stuck with whichever ones the laptop comes with. Now, moving on to SolidWorks xDesign. You might recall from our previous video that because xDesign runs on the browser, it's not as reliant on your computer hardware as the desktop versions of SolidWorks. Because of this, the hardware requirements to be able to run xDesign are a lot more forgiving. Since you can run xDesign on Windows PCs, Macs, Chromebooks, and tablets, we will be going over the tech specifications for each one. When it comes to Windows PCs for xDesign, you want to make sure that you are also using 64-bit versions of Windows 10 or 11. Again, Windows 11 if you want to be able to run the latest 2026 version. For the processor, you minimally want either an Intel Core i3 or Ryzen 3 with a base clock speed of 2.8 GHz. Ideally though, you'd want an Intel Core i5 or Ryzen 5 with a base clock speed of anywhere between 3 to 3.5 GHz. For the RAM, you want a minimum of anywhere in between 8 to 16 gigs and anywhere between 16 to 32 gigs if you can afford it. When it comes to the graphics card for running xDesign, you should be okay using whichever integrated graphics card your computer has, as long as your computer isn't like from the Stone Age. And in terms of storage, you don't have to be on the lookout for any singular type. Just make sure you have anywhere in between 10 to 20 gigabytes of free storage space, and if you can, anywhere between 20 to 30 gigabytes of free storage space. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is your internet connection. Since xDesign runs on the browser, a stable internet connection is just as important as your hardware. If your internet drops or is unstable, even a powerful device can feel slow. This applies to all devices with which you can run xDesign, so this is something to keep in mind. Now, moving on to Chromebooks. If you want to be able to use a Chromebook to run xDesign, then the minimum processor you want is the same as that for using xDesign on a Windows PC. That is, you want at a minimum an Intel Core i3 or Ryzen 3, but with a base clock speed of 2.5 GHz. The recommended is an Intel Core i5 or Ryzen 5 with base clock speeds of 2.8 to 3.2 GHz. For RAM, at a minimum you want 8 GB, but the recommended is 16 GB or more. You should be fine using the integrated graphics card, and for the storage, you want a minimum of anywhere between 8 to 10 gigabytes of free storage space and anywhere between 10 to 20 if you can. Now, if you're instead either using a Mac or a MacBook, then you want to have the latest OS version. For the processor, you want an Apple M1 performance core at a minimum. This core should run at around 3.2 GHz. And if you can, get an Apple Silicon M1, M2, M3, or M4 high performance cores. These should have the equivalent of anywhere between 3.2 to 4.1 GHz for the clock speed. For RAM, the minimum is 16 GB, and the recommended is anywhere between 16 to 32 GB. The integrated graphics card should run just fine, and for the storage, the minimum is 10 to 20 GB of free space, while the recommendation is 20 to 30 gigs. Now, moving on to tablets, because there are a wide variety of tablets out there, some of the processors we will talk about in this video will not apply to your device, but just be sure to be on the lookout for one that does. When it comes to the operating system, you want to make sure that it is up to date. Now, that could be whether it be running on iPad OS, Android, or Windows, just to name a few. For the processor, at a minimum, you want a mid-range tablet CPU, such as the Apple A series, Snapdragon 7 series, or Intel i3 or i5, just to name a few. If you can, try to go instead for high-performance tablet CPUs, like the Apple M series, Snapdragon 8 series, or Intel Core i5 and above. In terms of RAM, you want 8GB at a minimum. The recommendation is that you get closer to 16GB though. For the graphics card, the integrated GPU of your tablet should work just fine. And for the storage, you want a free storage space of 8 to 10GB at a minimum and 15 to 20GB if you can. Now keep in mind that tablets are best for learning, reviewing models, and light design work. For large assemblies or long sessions, either a laptop or a desktop computer will provide a much better experience. Now you don't need a perfect setup to get started with SolidWorks on the first day. These specs are just meant to give you a smooth learning experience. Lastly, I'd like to mention a couple of things worth noting. Keep in mind that laptops and tablets often can't hold their maximum clock speeds for long due to heat. So real-world performance may be lower than what's advertised. Now, if you're gonna get yourself a laptop, I'd recommend that you get yourself one that has either the cooling fans on the sides of it or on the back side of it. You can go for one that has the cooling fans on the underside of the laptop, but those usually have a tougher time dissipating heat. Additionally, if you're using a laptop or a tablet, expect much shorter battery life when working on SolidWorks compared to just browsing. This isn't as much of a problem for laptops because you can just keep them plugged in, but it is more of a problem for tablets. Okay, that was a lot of information. So here's a chart that helps summarize everything for easy access. Time for the question of the day. Which device will you be running SolidWorks on? Can your device run the software as it is, or will you have to make upgrades? Let me know in the comment section down below. If this helped you, hit that like button, comment below if you're still deciding between versions and what it is that you're struggling with. If you're new here and want to learn SolidWorks step by step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so that you don't miss future videos. That is it for today's video, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.